Hello, everybody. I think we are live. I am going to check. This is how these things always start out. Yes, we are. Okay, we are definitely live. All right. Big weekend, big week, huge week. I haven't done a live stream in a while, so this is we'll see we'll see how long it lasts. Anyway, look, it's good to say hi to everybody. As you may or may not know, on Friday there was yet another search. There was yet another search of Joe Biden's home where they found even more documents, which is just hilarious. Like last week, they said, "Oh, the search is over." The lawyer said the search is over. It wasn't over. They found at least 24 classified materials. And just you can't say documents necessarily because it could be like a binder of classified stuff. We don't know. We might never know what was in these things. So it's it's kind of crazy. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that because this is the very first time, I believe, that a sitting president has ever had his home searched for classified materials which he might have had illegally. Not only that, but his son Hunter is being investigated. So we have a sitting president and a sitting president's son under investigation. Say what you want about Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump or all those people. They were never under investigation like this. So we don't know what was in the documents. They could be nothing, but some of these documents date back to when Joe Biden was in the Senate, which means that he's had some of these documents since at the very least 2009, which is insane to me. So, it's anyway, the FBI was there and the DOJ was there. And they were like, "Oh, well, they're doing the right thing. The lawyers invited them. They shouldn't have waited for an invite. The DOJ should have just been like, we're going in, we're going to search we're going to search University of Pennsylvania. We're going to search the University of Delaware, which is where all of Joe Biden's archive is." He shouldn't have even, and you have to remember that before these documents were brought to the Penn Biden Center in 2018, they were somewhere in the ether. We don't know where they were. And they're like, oh, it might have been a staffer. Oh, so a staffer put these classified documents in his garage? You're going to blame the staffer? It's his house. How does he not know? Oh, I take these very seriously. I take classified information very seriously. Yeah, sure you do. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. I am going to bring on now one of my very favorite YouTubers, Memeology 101. If you guys know Memeology, wow, great logo, Memeology. It's nice to catch up and say hello. Oh, there you are. Oh, hey, an actual person. It's a face reveal.
Hey, hi, how are you? Hi, everyone.
Memeology 101, everybody. Wow. This is Memeology 101. So what do you think? What do you think about the drip from all of the from the Biden White House? Like there's more documents. So there's more documents.
So first of all, I want to say something before I forget. If you see the headlines, there's some of the headlines and the text on the articles is saying that Biden's home was raided by the FBI, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't raided.
No, he already knew he was going to be investigated, and actually, supposedly, he was the one that asked for his home to be searched. So that is not a raid. A raid is what happened to Trump.
That's right.
His home was searched unannounced. He didn't have a chance to, maybe plant or remove evidence like Biden did. In
Exactly.
fact, Biden continues to go on vacation to his home, which is basically the scene of the crime, if you know what I mean.
Well,
So
he went to his home in Rehoboth Beach, his beach house. So there may or may not be classified documents there. We don't know if it's ever been searched.
yeah,
Uh,
but
but
it's
yeah, but he went there. He went to his beach house because they knew he was going to be at his other house in Wilmington. That's why he didn't go back to Wilmington this weekend.
well, according to the map. I mean, the last address that I saw, it's 90 minutes from the crime scene.
Yeah.
So it's really coincidental that he's going near his house, which is being investigated. So
Mhm.
first
Well,
of all,
I think it's interesting that the Department of Justice decided that they were going to give them a heads up. I mean, he is the president, right? I kind of get it. Like they're giving him a little special treatment. I mean, he is the president. But they keep saying, "Oh, well, his lawyers are cooperating." His lawyers, they invited the DOJ.
yeah,
Why did the DOJ insist? Once they found that additional document, like a couple weeks ago, they should have just been like, "Look, we need to lock everything down and we need to start a search now. This is stupid because it keep you found it now in the garage, in a room next to the garage, in Dr. Jill's underwear drawer. Like, who knows? They need to kind of lock it down and end the special treatment. They need to have a warrant. But you're right. The difference between Trump and Biden is that they knew that these documents were there at Mar-a-Lago. They knew it. They even know which documents were there. With Biden, they had no idea that these documents even existed, let alone where they were. And now they're still finding them. They're still finding them after it's been over 2 months. We didn't hear about this for 68 days. And this is why the media is pissed right now. The media wants to know why. I mean, because it looks like a cover up, and it is a cover up.
I mean, if you notice, the media is trying to distract the people from the main story here. They keep saying that Biden cooperated and is helping the DOJ by providing all this information, by providing them access to all these locations without any kind of obstruction, etc., etc. But this is just the narrative that they are using to distract people from the fact that Biden, as vice president and as a member of the Senate, didn't have to have access to these documents in the first place.
Yeah, that's that you're going to see this over the next week or month or whatever. He's absolutely right that they keep bringing up Trump. Both cases have to do with classified documents, but they keep going, "Oh, well, what's worse with Trump? Because the scale's bigger, he had more documents, he wasn't cooperating, and now there's potential obstruction." There's no obstruction. There was an ongoing there were ongoing talks about these documents. I don't know why Trump wanted to hang on to them. I don't know what these things were. Who knows? They're not telling us anything. And they aren't telling us anything because we're supposed to assume the worst. Oh, it's the Orange Man. So of course the Orange Man was keeping these documents to sell the nuclear codes, which is just some of the biggest BS I've ever heard.
I mean,
These
he,
people
he,
are
he messed up. Trump messed up by keeping those documents because this is something that they are using against him. So
yes.
he should have known better. But the double standard is the problem here. In Biden's case, it's worse because there's an additional uh, crime here.
Mhm.
In Biden's case, he didn't have the authorization to even declassify these documents.
Right.
So it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a comparison. It's completely different. I mean, why did he have these files? Why did he have so many files in so many different locations to begin with?
Well, they're saying that if Vice President Biden classified a document himself, then he would have the opportunity to declassify it. So there's a little wiggle room there, but why would he keep? So if they found documents that he himself classified, then he could kind of pull the Trump excuse and go, well, I declassified it with my mind. Like that's what I did. So it's possible, but then again, we don't know what is in those documents. We don't know the severity, but we also don't know what was down at Mar-a-Lago. We have no idea. But the way the press played it up, they keep saying, oh, it's nuclear secrets. Oh, it's Ukraine. Oh, it's this, it's that. They won't tell us. So it's here, let me read his super chat real quick. Somebody said we're past the 22nd Amendment deadline. If Brandon leaves office for any reason, his replacement can still run for 2 additional terms. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. And so if he leaves office, Kamala Harris would replace him, and then she could potentially run again. Nobody's going to vote for her.
Yeah, no, that's
No.
not gonna happen.
No,
This isn't House of Cards.
if you had to choose between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, you're going to go Biden every time.
Yeah,
But without, if it's between Trump and Harris, like people do not like her at all. Like people don't respect her. She's just like a walking word salad. She's just really not good. She's really very, very poor at her job. So
the sheriff from Arizona, he was mad as hell at Vice President Harris. He was saying that she went to Arizona and didn't even bother to visit the border on Arizona, and that all the border patrol staff feels literally insulted by the fact that Harris doesn't give a fuck about them.
no. Oh, hey, Poofy says hello. Poofy, hey Poofy. She says, "Sup, nerds." Good to see you, Poofy. Thank you for being a friend. So Poofy basically just watches my like Poofy's not like one of my employees. I don't have any employees. I'm just like a one-man band, but I'll make a script and I'll make it like a big Google Doc, and then I'll show Poofy, and then sometimes she'll, like suggest a joke or maybe, suggest like something. And she's very helpful, but not like super helpful. She's like 0.001% helpful in the cosmic scheme of things. So but I love Poofy. She's a good friend. And if you guys aren't following Memeology, I'm sure you've seen his videos. It's funny. There's sometimes there's definitely times where I will be looking at YouTube and he'll post something like a story that I just like I'm learning from him. So if you want to get your news in very short little bursts, Memeology 101 is the way to go. So and that's why I had him on, because he's great, and he's also been very, very supportive. Oh, I'm sure Liberal Hive Mind says hi. He was gonna I invited him and he just said, I'm super busy. I didn't give him enough notice. But he's super busy, and but he's a good friend too. So anyway, somebody asked what's on my TV. It's just Overwatch. The sun's blaring on it, so you can't really see. I just wanted something in the background instead of a blank TV. So, what else is going on with this? Have you been watching any of the Korean JeanPierre press conferences at all? Like, do you ever like stop like what you're doing and just watch them?
Well, if you're asking me or the
Yeah,
audience,
you.
I mean, I do. I actually talking about Biden's staff. I was just watching right now a clip from his assistant, and it's a bald guy.
Oh yeah. I saw that. He was on MSNBC.
Yeah, and he was saying they asked him point blank, "How do you know how many classified documents have been found?" And he said, "That's a good question." And I thought he was going to answer it. Instead, he says, "But it's really complicated. It's complicated." So how is that complicated?
Well, it's complicated because the more documents that come out, the more Biden looks like an idiot, because they kept saying, "Oh, well, there's no." He said the other day, he said, "There's no there."
Yeah.
Like he doesn't regret that they found documents. He doesn't regret it for some reason. Whatever. It's just it is what it is. He really wants to talk about it. And of course, as you know, when it comes to classified documents and information, he's very serious. He takes it very seriously.
At first, they were hanging on to this idea that there were just a few documents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they didn't tell the public, because they didn't want to cause outrage for something so small. But the documents keep piling on, so they can't say that anymore.
No, they can't. They can't. I mean, at first, when it was revealed, they said it was under a dozen documents. And then it turned out to be 10 documents. And then they said, oh, it's a small amount. It's a small amount of documents. So by my count, it's at least 24 documents now. It was like 5 or 6 in the garage, and they found 1, and then they found 4 more, and then they just found 6 on Friday. So they're going to find more. It's a really easy prediction. They're going to find more. And the more they find, the more Biden looks incompetent. Because remember, Joe Biden and the Biden administration, they're supposed to be the adults in the room. They're incompetents. And the fact that Joe Biden had stuff from years ago from the Senate, what was he holding on to?
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting part, the Senate files.
Yeah, you're not supposed to bring them home. You're supposed to look at them in a secure area at the Capitol. You're not supposed to bring them home. What was he bringing them home for his book, for his dumb book about his son? No. Like, what was he bringing him home for? There's no excuse. And if Trump did this, or Ted Cruz did this, or if Lauren Boebert did this, brought classified documents home to her house, and they found them, they would be calling for her resignation immediately.
Yeah.
But with Joe Biden, it's just like, oh, I'm sure it was a mistake. It was a staffer. Oh, really? A staffer put his stuff in a garage? That's implausible. It's implausible. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to go ahead and defend Biden here.
No.
I'm going to give Biden the benefit of the doubt. His dementia. He really doesn't remember. And I'm not here to make fun of dementia as a whole.
Right.
This is just Biden's case. I think he genuinely forgot where he placed his documents. He didn't remember he had them.
And that's fine. You can forget. I mean, he is old. But you can't, you can't go, well, it wasn't his fault when he put the documents in his garage, 5 years ago or 15 years ago. It's one thing if you said, oh, they were in a box that my staff packed up. But when they said at the Penn Biden Center that these boxes at first they were like, oh, well, it had mostly like funeral arrangements. and condolence cards and stuff from when his son died. You're like, his son died in 2015. These documents were put in his office in 2018. Why would he? And also, why would he have these? Why would he have funeral arrangements at like a think tank about global affairs? And I'm paraphrasing Tucker Carlson, but Tucker was basically like, Biden, the word Biden and the word think or think tank just does not go together.
Yeah, I mean, if you do some research, you actually are not going to find any kind of alumni that came from that think tank. So it basically did nothing. The purpose of that place is unknown at this point. I haven't seen people graduating or going through any type of seminar or courses on
Yeah,
that think tank.
they had a Twitter account, and which I don't think anybody followed. But they had a staff there, so they were, it just seemed like, it looked. I'm not saying it is, but it looked like I don't know, like a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, exactly. Like a ghost company.
Yeah, like what are they doing there? It's just a shell. It's just like a company to launder money, or like a tax dodge or something. But they also said that Biden was never in that office.
Yeah,
exactly. Barely there. I mean, Biden's barely in the White House, and to say that he was at this random office. No, of course not. He spent so much time in Delaware. He spent like a fourth of his time.
And remember that actually the CCP had access to this think tank.
Well,
they get a lot of money.
But okay, so I don't like to get into conspiracy theory stuff.
I won't get there. Okay.
But look, I don't go there because I like it's possible. But the Chinese government absolutely contributes money to the University of Pennsylvania. And so we don't know. There's going to be, all I'm going to say is that there's going to be an investigation through Congress, and they're going to look at these things and see if there's there, as Biden would say. We're going to see if there's anything there. I don't think they're going to find anything, even though if you said, hey, do you think you would find just like random classified documents in Biden's house? I'd be like, probably not. I mean, since he called Trump so irresponsible, Andrew, do you think that they would find classified documents in his garage next to his car? No, probably not. That sounds silly. But then he did. So at this point, anything could happen. You can't eliminate any possibility as far as I'm concerned. Hey, let me read some quick super chats. So somebody, let's see here. Saint Ranger says FBI going after Trump is expected, but going after Biden is kind of weird. And why are his lawyers cooperating? Super weird. Well, they see, even I'm sure that Biden didn't want the FBI going into his house. And I think that if Trump didn't have the issues they're having and he wasn't obstructing or whatever, there might have been some pushback from Biden. But Biden doesn't have a choice now because they keep saying, oh, well, Trump should have given him back. Trump should have cooperated, blah, 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 blah. And now they're going out of their way to say, oh, we're cooperating. We're doing the right thing. And that's where that's all coming from. So I don't think it's super weird. I think that if there's any kind of pushback from Biden's lawyers, it's going to look like they're obstructing. So they have no choice in the matter. Dankest Von Meeman says, never thought I'd see the day Memeology and Andrew do a collab. Huge fan for both of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
STFUFFS says, not classified docs, call it evidence. Kept away from the Trump DOJ. I want the Jim Jordan to see these items. It's showtime, baby. Come on, man. Love it. So for again, Memeology 101, if you don't subscribe to his channel or subscribe to him follow him on YouTube, he's the best. He puts out some really great content. It's super short, unlike my 20-minute videos about, minutia about Joe Biden not being able to sing happy birthday to a woman. It's I love it. Like I'm going to point it out in my next video, but Joe Biden, he's like, hey, here's Martin Luther King III. And hey, I hear his wife has a birthday today. And he never calls her by her name. He just calls her Martin's wife. Right. That's like when you're hanging out with one of your friends and you forget his girlfriend's name and you're just like, hey, so Joe's girlfriend, she does, stuff in the thing, whatever. But then he insisted on singing to a woman he knew very well. He didn't know her name. And he's like, happy birthday, dear. He's such.
I mean, that's the same
president.
day. I think it was the same day, or was it on a Sunday, where he went to church, to a black church, and said that he used to go to the black church every
day.
Every day. And when they started clapping, he was like zooming out. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's so bizarre because he claims that he went to the black church every day, after he went to regular Catholic mass.
How can you do that?
and before high school and college. So basically, on the day he's going to high school, he goes to like a 4 a.m. Catholic mass, then goes to the black church, whatever the hell that is, and then he goes to school. Yeah, there's no proof of that, and there's no proof of that because he's on stage at Martin Luther King Jr.'s Ebenezer Church, and the singer is singing, and he's like, "Clap, everybody, clap your hands!" And Biden's just like looking like, "What's going on? What's this black church thing?" And then even though he said in the past, "Oh, I didn't march. I was just like a white kid who grew up in the suburbs. I didn't march in the civil rights movement." And he's like, "Yeah, the first time I got arrested," like he just loves to pander. If there's a group he's speaking to or a city, he loves to have some kind of connection. So like when he was in Puerto Rico, he's like, "Oh yeah, I was raised by the Puerto Rican community politically." Like, no, what? And if you read his books, and I actually had to fricking read his books, he didn't mention anything about civil rights or anything like that. He mentioned, he mentioned like, like playing football. he didn't mention like, "Oh, I did a sit down and I got arrested for protesting or whatever." He just loves to make stuff up. He just loves to talk to people and go, "Hey, I'm like you. I'm also Puerto Rican."
I mean, I'm sure the Puerto Ricans were big on having black churches on the community. So, all of this happened at the same time. And meanwhile this was happening, he also met Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. And he got arrested for trying to meet Nelson Mandela in Soweto. It's like, are you sure you did? I don't believe you. And
while this was happening, wait for it, he also met the guy who created insulin.
Yeah, I covered that. Like extensively. It's like he said he met the guy who created insulin who died previously. Like he talked to his ghost. And he's done this with several people. He like in a recent video, he said, "Oh, I when I went to the G7, I spoke to Mitterrand." That'd be Francois Mitterrand, who died like, in the 80s. So this guy, he's like, "Oh, like he keeps saying that he spoke to these people who haven't been alive for decades. And people don't question him. Where are the fact checkers? The fact checkers they don't exist. They're all on vacation. All of them.
I truly believe that Biden is talking to ghosts.
I think so too. Hey, Jackie, you there?
Every time he does this thing with he turns around and gives his hand to something, I think he's talking to Nelson, to MLK, to the insulin guy. I don't know, man. I think they're talking to them.
I would not be surprised if he starts saying that, like, he spoke to, if he'll go like, yeah, I was talking to Martin Luther King the other day about George Floyd, and then George Floyd came in the room and he said, "Hi, everybody," and then while I was having some coffee with George Floyd, in walked in my hero, Robert Kennedy, and Robert Kennedy said hi. And then his brother JFK came in, and I was a big fan of JFK. And then Cesar Chavez came in. That was, and I showed them the bust that I have in my office, Cesar Chavez. That's so weird that he has a bust of Cesar Chavez, who's like this great union leader, obviously, like, Biden's in bed with the unions. But Cesar Chavez was violent when it came to migrants. Like, he's like, get these people out of here. They don't belong in this country. And he was violent. And yet Joe Biden's kind of like, yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
I think Joe Biden, he really he really participated in the civil rights movement, but the thing is that he doesn't remember he was on the opposite side of that.
I mean, look, there's no proof of that. There's no proof that he's, and that he's a racist. Nobody's saying that.
I know. I
mean, no, we all are. It's like, because if you don't vote for him, you're not African American. It's just how it is. I'm going to read some super chats. First of all, Adrian Curry, one of like the best people in the world, says hello. She gave us a $10 super chat. So, Miss Curry, it's nice to see you. Thank you for, if you want to come on, you are welcome to come on. You're welcome to say hi. Drop by. KSI Revelation says, what do you think of the election in Massachusetts? That was a 10-vote Republican victory that was recounted and turned into a 1-vote Democrat win. Well, look, the recounts happen. Votes just kind of appear out of nowhere. I'm not saying there was any impropriety, and I really don't know. Like, these things do happen when there's a 10-vote margin.
Yeah,
I mean, it does happen. So it actually happened in New York State with oh golly, what is her name? It was a Republican congresswoman who I follow on Twitter, and she was leading by like within 10 votes, and you'll never guess what the Democrat, her opponent, said. Her opponent accused that basically said that there were improprieties with the voting, which I hear is very democratic if you question an election. But anyway, she ended up winning, and that was in 2020, and it was a contested thing. So I don't know that much about the Massachusetts victory election. Maybe I'll look it up and see if there's any there. Becky Winters, hi Becky friend. Hey Andrew, I just got here. Any problems with the stream? I don't think so. You were worried about it last night. Oh, problems. I'm not going to say what the problems are, but I haven't had any problems. Also, Memeology 101. Great to meet you. I love your channel.
Thank you.
And I love your channel too, Memeology. God. So it's I you know, you're giving me some legitimacy here. Brotato Wedges says, not gonna lie, my day is made whenever Andrew posts a video, and I always catch myself binging Memeology 101 videos. Thank you guys for being the voice of reason in these trying times. You were getting a lot of compliments, dude.
Thank you very much for that.
See, I brought in the right person. We're compadres. Let's see. Fun fact. Oh, this is 19K Fox. Fun fact. Joe Biden threw 4 touchdowns in a single game back in high school. Not a joke. I think that's a Married with Children Al Bundy reference. So one of the best TV shows ever. Oh, wow. Some more super chats here. Kyle Harlow says, I went to Catholic church, Black church, and shul more than all of you. I fought apartheid with one hand tied behind my back, Jack. Not That's true. And that was another thing. He's talking to a room celebrating the Jewish holiday. And Biden's like, yeah, I went to shul more than like all you Jews in here. Like, oh you did? That's it's quite a feat. Nate Clay gave me $50 and said, where's Jackie? So Nate, thank you so much for that. Where's Jackie? And that's one of my underappreciated videos, by the way. The whole where's Jackie thing. I don't even think it has 100,000, 200,000 views yet.
It should. It should. I laugh aloud at the part with the Jackie thing. The edit. I really like it.
Dude, you know, there's so much that goes into these videos. I appreciate you saying that. You know, a lot of it just comes down to I'm trying to edit them in a way where it elicits a response. You know, it's kind of like when I watch It's a Gundam videos. Like, he doesn't even say something sometimes. It's just the way he edits stuff or edits clips in. It's just like the comedy is just so there. And actually, and I can't remember. It was like in the last week, one of your videos, you had an edit in there. I just could not stop laughing for 5 minutes. It was perfect. Like you know, I have a DSP reference in my new video because of you, by the way, because of you and Gundam, because I keep, you know, because you guys are just all over that. So let's see. Stefano Hammam says Cash Patel said he'd go to the National Archives and retrieve documents exposing Russiagate. Team Biden called and said those docs are missing. And then they raid Mar-a-Lago. Oh, I see. So what you're suggesting is that there were documents that were planted. I don't know about that. Again, I'm not a conspiracy guy. I don't want to get my channel nuked. Michael Ambrosio said, hi, Andrew. I always liked your videos. Hope to see you on Tim Pool soon. Yeah, going on Tim Pool's fun. One of the last times I was on there, Luke Radowski was just like, he was wearing the big boobs as a, you know, an homage to that teacher up in Canada who's wearing like the prosthetic, you know, boobs with the nipples. Which you know, and what he was doing, he was putting more balloons under his shirt as the show progressed, as this running gag. So he's but yeah, I like Tim and the team, and maybe I will be on sooner or later. I'm just busy down here too, so you know, I'm busy making my own stuff. Thank you very much. And wow, I'm getting some. Let's see. My name is Jarv says, found you from the Vsauce response. Vsauce response. I don't know. Oh, maybe Vosh. And I've loved your channel since. How do you do your research for your videos? I just read everything. I go to the New York Times. I have a I have a Washington Post subscription. Like I read everything, but then, and then I analyze it. I kind of cut through all the BS. So it's just a lot of work, and I try to be, I try to be objective. I mean, look, I did a video about George Santos, which did not get a lot of views because I guess my audience doesn't want me picking on Republicans, the poor Republicans. But if you're doing bad stuff or you deserve to be criticized, I'm going to criticize you. That's just how it is. I just happen to do it more with Democrats because they do dumber things, but
exactly. And yeah, that's how it is. I find myself in the same position. It's really hard to dunk on most Republicans because they don't really say stupid things, much like the Democrats, which you find Kamala Harris saying stupid shit every day. I mean, every day. She says something stupid. You are not going to find Matt Gaetz or Lauren saying stupid shit every single day.
No.
They may say something stupid once a month, once every 6 months, but they are not, messing up as much as the Democrats.
No,
which is what's happening.
And even just Biden and Harris alone, right? Like you don't really see. I think Biden and Harris doing all their stuff kind of overshadows what other people are doing. Like I haven't seen like AOC do something really dumb recently, because I'm sure she has, but a lot of that is just overshadowed by Joe Biden messing up speeches every single day. Every day he's in front of the camera, he does dumb stuff. Every day. I've never seen a president screw up like he couldn't even, like the other day when he couldn't even say the names of basketball players reading off a teleprompter. Like he couldn't pronounce the word Clay. He couldn't pronounce the word Draymond. He was like, Draymond and Clay, oh, you guys are great. Like of course he could pronounce Steph Curry because Steph Curry is a Democrat who refused. He was like, I don't want to go to the White House. Like when Trump was there. And then Biden's like, you're always welcome in this White House. Oh yeah. Well, Trump, I'm sure that Trump would have completely welcomed anybody to that White House. But it's like people were just so triggered by Trump that they didn't want to, get accolades from the bad orange man.
I have to admit, I have something to confess now that you are mentioning Trump's time in the White House. Before I started making videos on YouTube and watching the news from another angle, I used to despise Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to love Obama.
How dare you?
But that is mainly because I was one of those people that just watch Univision, Telemundo, CNN in Spanish, and they throw the narrative that Donald Trump is the devil, he's a racist, Obama was a hero, this and that. So I was used to that kind of information.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to what you're exposed to.
Exactly. When I started getting exposed to the other angle, I saw, the reality. Trump is not perfect. He's not an angel.
No.
He was also a politician. He said stupid things. He messed up. But he wasn't, a racist.
No.
He just wanted to protect the border of, the United States.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you go to Switzerland, where they're holding the World Economic Forum, they have this. They protect the border, but no one is calling them racist.
No. And what's interesting is that was one of the big selling points for Trump when it came to the election. That's one of the big things he ran on. That's why Ann Coulter basically basically endorsed him and appeared with him because he was like, let's build this wall, let's do this thing. And you'd think that, well, because Trump was elected, and that's one of the things he promised to, that he kind of had like this mandate to do so. But the Democrats basically did everything they could to stop him from doing it. And at one point he was like, look, let's make a deal. Well, I'll take all the dreamers that are in the United States and I'll give them a pathway to citizenship, but you have to give me border protection, like money for their border wall. And the Democrats are like, no, we're not doing that. Like, they threw the dreamers under the bus because they didn't want to build a wall. Really? That's insane to me. And these are the same people. Like, there's video of Chuck Schumer going, hey, don't call them undocumented. That's not what they are. They're illegal immigrants. And then he changes his tune because, oh, the orange, you can't say the same thing that the orange man is saying because that would be bad. So they've had to change their tune. Like, I don't believe that Chuck Schumer believes that. I don't believe that Chuck Schumer thinks that this is good, but then he comes out and says it, which is amazing to me. Here, I'm going to read some more super chats. Thank you for all the super chats, and thank you for all the support, and thank you for being, like, subscribing to my channel and watching my dumb little content. Unlike Memeology stuff, which is actually really good, the best stuff, the best clips.
I mean, let's be honest here. If I take 1 hour editing one of my small clips and memes, you will be taking hours upon hours of research. So it's different content.
It is, and I actually, you know the other guy, John Talks.
Yeah.
Like, I've never spoken to him. He just basically takes a bunch of memes and puts them all together in like a little thing. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of thought to it. But I envy you guys that you can actually come up with that stuff and people watch it. Like, it's watchable. There's other channels that try and do what you do and they suck. So I'm not gonna call anybody out, but you might have seen them. There's a lot of stuff that is like low quality. And it seems like you put even if you're saying like, oh, I only put an hour of effort into it, there's still effort there. You're making a 30-second clip. So,
I mean, at first, when I started making that type of content, I always ask myself, why aren't more people doing it? Because I always get comments like, this is trash and shit like that. So I always told people, okay, do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And people started doing it, and I was like, that's good. People realize that there's people that want to watch that type of thing. Short clips with some funny stuff added to them.
Yeah, and it's not easy, because you actually have to watch the news. You have to pay attention and see what's going on. It's not just like grabbing, 10 seconds of somebody else's video and putting it together. Like, there's, it takes effort. It takes thought. It actually takes some kind of planning. So YouTubing is not easy. And when everybody says, oh, well, if your stuff is trash, it's like, yeah, do your own stuff. I dare you. And I've had that too. I've had people say that, oh, your channel's garbage. And I'm like, oh, really? Where's your channel?
Yeah.
It's real easy to criticize, and that's fine. I'll take criticism as long as you're right, as long as there's some kind of substance.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to do is to avoid posting fake news or stuff that is out of context. I try to avoid those clips that people post on Twitter that are out of context.
I was saying that last night in my Twitter space. I was saying you will, like, I will never, ever be one of these people that goes on Twitter or goes on YouTube and takes clips out of context, like cutting it off selectively to make somebody look bad when that wasn't the whole story. So like when Biden, like now I'll do it in a humorous way, like to make a joke.
Yes.
But it's clear, like if I do like one of these YouTube poops and I have them saying something else, like saying that Trump's going to win the election or something like that, like it's very obvious that I'm doing it as a joke, that I'm not trying to present that he actually said this. But I will never ever like Aaron Rupar, like those people that go on and they just lie about everything. I hate that. You will I want, if there's one thing I strive for on my channel, it's integrity. And I will never lie, and I will never say something to make somebody look bad if it's not true. Now I'll put on like Joe Biden clips all day to make him look bad, because he's making himself look bad. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, they are doing a great job at making themselves look bad. You
Yeah.
don't have to edit them out of context to make them look bad.
And this whole thing with the classified document scandal is it's a crisis of his own making. It's all his fault. This has not. You can't blame Trump for this. You can't blame the orange man. That's just how
they are. They are.
They're trying, but like if you're Joy Behar on The View, you might try and get away with it, but it's not real. Everybody knows it. And it's actually his approval rating is down, and it's going to be down even more. They did a poll before Friday, before Saturday. The next poll, it's going to, this is hurting his, people are looking at him and going, he's not competent. And they were doing that before, but now they're really doing it. So here, let me read some more.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No. This is free form stuff. It's all good. Pam Roning says, love your content. Wow. Very deep comment, but I appreciate that. Thank you very. Oh, okay. What's your dog's name?
Baby.
That is a cute dog. Holy moly.
This is how you avoid getting canceled.
Hold on. That is a cute dog. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep this little thing on here. Okay, so King Asphalt just gave $20, so thank you for that. That's very nice. Pam Roning again, she said, love your content. We appreciate you, Pam. Thank you so much. Royal Wolf 7 says, all of this is overblown. I keep all types of important papers in my garage, and I don't even have a garage. Wait, what? Moonlight says, I don't know which was worse, the Brandon administration or lame GOP midterm performance. That's something that the GOP needs to start lying more, I think. I mean, look at all the lies that they told about Trump and the GOP. They said, oh, that the GOP, they want to have a national abortion ban, they want to cut Social Security, they want to cut this, they want to cut that. None of it was true. And they keep saying it. They keep lying. And I think that the Republicans need to come up with similar lies. They can't just go, oh, no, they can't just use logic and go, no, that's not what we said, whatever. They need to counter it with lies. That's all there is to it. So, yes, but it was a very lame GOP midterm performance. And quite frankly, I said on Twitter the other day that I think the Republicans are going to screw it up and we're going to have 6 more years of Joe Biden. I think that's reality. I think that might be a reality.
I think they're weak.
I think they're weak too. And I don't think this is helping, that this whole documents thing is helping, but Watch Dealer 11 gave a Canadian dollar. So thank you for that. My name is Jarv said, yes, I meant Vosh. That was from earlier. X marks the woke. Oh, hey, I spoke to you yesterday on the Twitter space. He basically says hello, And Andrew Mahoney says, let's not forget all the dad stories from the dinner table about how they had deep family discussions on the price of gas when it changed 2 cents over a decade. Because
Bullshit.
every dad story is a BS. That's true. That's true. I love the other day he screwed up the quote. He always says, when I walked down to my grandpa's house in Scranton, he'd always say, "Hey Joey, keep the faith." And then my grandmother would go, "No, Joey, spread it, Joey." So he always says that thing. He always closes with that. And
no joke.
And then the other day said, my grandfather, he said, he'd always say, "Spread the faith." It was like, oh, oops. And then my grandmother come out. She's like, no, Joey, holler. Don't just don't just keep the faith, spread it. You know, I'm sure all of this folklore from his parents is and family is 100% real. I don't dispute any of it. I'm sure it's all real. Jared Z. Oh, this is a good question for you. Jared Z says, thoughts on the Crowder and Daily Wire drama? I'm going to ask you first. What do you think?
I think that both parties could have handled that better. I saw that at first. Crowder didn't mention them by name when he talked about the offer that was made to him.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have responded in private. The problem is that they went ahead and made it public. So he had to mention it by name.
Right.
Look, in the end, I wish both parties the best and that they continue to do their thing separately.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I don't think. I actually think both of the parties don't have are not good for business. They don't know how to do proper business. With Crowder, the way he handled that, and Daily Wire, the way they responded to that. Yeah,
well,
I mean, they could have doing a better. There are better ways to deal with that kind of situation. For me,
no, I agree, and I think I don't really have a dog. I don't have a dog in this fight at all. I think at this point, it's just a couple multi-millionaires fighting over money and over, petty stuff in the cosmic scheme of things. So, I wish Crowder the best. I wish Jeremy Boring and the Daily Wire the best. But do I have an opinion on it? I think the only thing that bothers me is the what was a private phone call.
exactly.
And Crowder basically used that to make his case. And I don't think that he should have, people are like, well, Project Veritas, like what? No, this is not a Steven Crowder sting operation. Like he was trying to get Jeremy Boring on like drag queens or something, I don't think that I think it was petty, and I think it shows a lack of character. Other than that, I think you're right. I think they all didn't handle it the right way. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So thank you so much for that question, Jared Z. Hamburger 7 says, this is Joe Biden, the resident of the United States. Thank you. This is Memeology 101. Stefano Hamam says, not planted, Trump held onto them to make his case. Oh, I see. I got you. KSI Revelation says, discuss the Illinois assault weapon ban. I don't know so much about it. I don't think that any of that stuff should be infringed upon, obviously. And Joe Biden is wrong about firearms and every single thing that he talks about. He just the other day he was saying, that police officers shouldn't shoot to kill. They should shoot to stop. No, That's ridiculous. You're not going to teach a cop to say, "Oh, hey, just shoot him in the leg." That's not how. That's not how any of that works. You're not going to see one law enforcement agency teach that shoot to stop thing. Biden has no idea what he's talking about. Kiefer says, Andrew, are you the non-evil twin of Will Wheaton? I was actually watching a Gundam video the other day where they were talking about Will Wheaton. He's terrible. But yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I would not have wanted to be on Star Trek: The Next Generation in that character as Wesley. Wesley was the worst character, and everybody knows it. Whoa, Big Herb says, "Do you think Joe Biden has ever done a speedball?" I don't understand. Do you think Joe Biden's ever done drugs?
I don't think so. I think I mean we know his son has. I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
Poofy points out that 1,300 people hit the like button. Thanks everyone for hopping in. Oh, thank you, Poofy. You don't have to send me super chats. It's very nice of you. Jsona9 says, thanks, Andrew. I introduced my parents to Don't Walk Run, and they think it's the greatest channel. Informative, yet comical. FYI, my dad is 83 and my mom is 80. Cheers. Well, say hi to your parents for me. That's very nice. It's very nice to hear. You know, you also might want to give them a mental health checkup if they're laughing at my stuff. But no, I'm just kidding. That's very nice of you and to say, and say hi to your parents. That's very nice.
I agree that that's a good description of your channel.
Comical yet informative. That's well. Would you agree that it's the greatest channel?
I mean, you got channels with girls doing yoga. So
I would not say it's the greatest channel, but I think my channel is a quality channel. I think it's a slightly underrated channel, but it's a quality channel, and so thank you for the kind words.
It's a quality channel.
King Asphalt, yeah, I think I might have mentioned King Asphalt just gave me $20 for no reason. Just said left it blank. So here I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna make a comment for you, King Asphalt. Andrew, you're the best. Thank you so much for all you do. We really, the earth appreciates you. Thank you. Wow. Is there anything else going on in the news that, you know, I'm not going to mention the thing in Monterey. I don't want to talk about that. It's sad, but other than that, not going to talk about it.
No, that's really tragic. I saw that in the morning at 1 p.m. I was awake when that happened.
Yeah, it's let's not talk about it and get this stuff yellow symbol, but somebody says STFUFFS says Univision is a steamy midden heap. In 2014, they ignored the Obama kids in cages while gently muzzling. Oh, I'm not going to read the rest of that. But yeah, like everybody ignored the kids in cages, but then they blamed Trump and said, "Oh, it was his fault," which is not. So yeah, so thank you again for that. And Chris, to Johnny, Tigani, just gave some money. So thank you so much. It's all very, very kind of you guys. I haven't done one of these live streams in a while because YouTube was not treating me well, but I think maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, they've fixed things. So, somebody said, have you ever thought about going on with Mark Dice? Mark Dice doesn't know who I am. Mark Dice, he has no clue. He doesn't know I exist. I do like Mark. Mark is very funny, and I do subscribe to him. He's good. I think he got to go to the White House. He got to visit with a bunch of influencers back in the day. And then we make fun of, JoJo from Jurors and all those people posing for that picture. You know that. You know that picture, right?
Not really.
No, the picture of like all the Democrat operative influencers like posing for a picture in front of the White House. You've seen it.
I don't remember. Can you mention one of them and I will remember?
It's like JoJo from Jurors. It's Brooklyn Dad Defiant. It's
yeah, that one. I saw that one. Yeah,
that one. Yeah, but everybody was making fun of that. But I don't think they had like a group photo with like Mark Dice and who's the short black dude? He's like a Republican comedian. Terrence, maybe? I can't remember his name. He doesn't know who I am either, but yeah, I love Mark Dice. And every time I do a Man on the Street, it's been a while, but when I do Man on the Street stuff, I kind of think in the back of my head about Mark Dice when he does live, like Man on the Street stuff, because he's so funny and he can do it all with a straight face and not like laugh at people. When he's like, oh, what do you think of Hillary Clinton? And people are like, oh, she's the best. She's a wonderful woman. Or when there's one I think about all the time where he goes, would you rather have this piece of chocolate, this Hershey's bar, or this bar of silver? and people were like, oh, I'll take the chocolate. People didn't understand that, like, silver is actually worth money. It was pretty funny that people thought it was a joke.
You mentioned something about a photo about influencers.
Yeah,
you are not going to see more Dice and other conservative or Republicans having an influencer photo shoot, because at the end of the day, these are regular people that decided to make a YouTube channel or a social media, and by chance they are conservatives. They became famous. People like their comedy or their content.
Yeah.
In contrast with Brooklyn Dad Defiant and all those Democrat influencers, you're going to find that these people are getting actually paid by Democrat PACs and other type of organizations.
Yeah, like Midas Touch or Really American or all these
exactly
fake.
They are literally paid by these people. But when you go to Mark Dice and similar influencers, they are doing videos out of their own pocket. Mm-hmm. Nobody's paying them. They are making their own money. In fact, there are some people that keep saying that I'm getting paid to make the videos that I make. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting paid by YouTube, but no one else. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to say for the record that nobody is paying me, by the way, other than super chats and other than YouTube revenue. So nobody's buying my influence, believe me. So somebody, I'm going to go back to some of these super chats because Audrey, hi Audrey, it's nice to hear from you. Audrey says, can you tell us the story about what happened when you went to the Carhartt store? So I did a video about John Fetterman and how he keeps wearing Carhartt stuff, but Carhartt isn't even made in this country. It's made in your country. It's made all over except the United States. So to see it firsthand, I went to a car. I actually drove to a Carhartt store here in Florida, and I went around like videotaping stuff on my phone, and all the people there, like all the staff, were like looking at me like I was breaking the law or something. So they were giving me the stink eye the whole time. But yeah, like all of it's made. It's like made in Mexico. It's made in Guatemala. It's made in India. I'm sure that I don't think there was I didn't see anything that was made in China, but I have read that certain products in the past have been made in China, and they actually might have like shifted it to other places. Oh, Memeology's gone. They might have shifted it to other places. So because of supply chain issues, because of what was going on in China. So that's what I think. So somebody says nice TV, Andrew. Did you buy it or liberate it? No, I bought it. And it's an okay TV. It's not like super fancy, believe me. Well, hold on. There we go. Memeology's back. Let's see. So Danimal says, why are conservatives funnier than liberals? Why can't they meme well? Essentially. Yeah, the left cannot meme. That is the truth. Richard S gives the thumbs up 100%. Thank you so much. The Black Mamba 116 says 81 million votes, guys. I love that that's a tagline of mine. It's so stupid. 81 million votes, guys. Like you just shake your head. Like 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. Really? I mean, it's debatable. But the fact that the if that's even real, the fact that 81 million votes, come on, that's crazy. And now I'm getting in the context box for about the 2020 election. So do you ever get context boxes on your stuff?
A lot. Even if the video isn't about climate change or COVID, I get those boxes a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And that kills the video as well. It kills the engagement. I hate that.
Yeah. So my last video, which mentions nothing about anything, it's just Joe Biden reading names wrong. It has the context box, at which I wasn't even talking about any of that. It's stupid. I'm sure I'm going to get one now. I haven't even looked, and I'm sure I'm going to have one eventually. Well, I don't right now, but I will. I'm sure. Yeah, the context box, and so I reached out to the YouTube team, and I'm like, hey, can you get rid of it? Like, my video has nothing to do with that. And they're like, sorry, we can't dismiss it. Like, why? Why can't you? It's your company. Why can't you do it? It's stupid. Just remove it. It's dumb. But you're right, it kills engagement. And my new video hasn't even my shorter videos tend to do not as great. But in, the click-through rate on impressions is still pretty high. They're just not pushing it out because I don't have a second ad break in the middle, and they're going to make less money off of my 3-minute video. But people are watching it. It has like a high, let's see, it has 8,000 likes and 99.8% likes. So people like it. It's not a bomb. It's just that YouTube's not doing anything with it. That's how it is. So do you see that a lot? Do you make a video and then it's just not pushed out? Like, I'm sure you see that.
Right now, December, January, my channel is technically dead in regards of analytics. I mean, I'm getting views. Obviously I'm getting paid for those views, but the money is less.
Yeah.
The views overall are less. The engagement is less. So you see the difference. Something happened. I don't know what happened. I am grateful for what I get. Don't get me
Absolutely.
wrong. But something happened. I don't know. It's getting to less people.
Well, look, if you guys aren't subscribed to Memeology, please do that. It's it's not a waste of time. He puts out videos, and sometimes a couple times a day. They're always worth a watch. Unlike my stuff, but really, seriously, he's it's it's
You don't have to put down your content
I
to
think you do
elevate mine. I mean,
do some important work for real. I
it's
do.
all good. You don't have to say that your content is not good just to say mine is good.
Look, I make quality stuff, but honestly, like I laugh at your stuff consistently. So, and I'm laughing with you, not at you. Somebody says talk about Nintendo NES. Why am I talking about the NES? I'd rather talk about the SNES. No, I'm kidding. Poofy asks, how's the George Santos one doing? Not doing great. As I said before, the people just hate the fact that I'm ripping on poor Republicans. It's so weird. He's like, yeah, I wasn't a drag queen. I only dressed up as a woman. Okay, I mean, if do what you want, man. You want to dress up as a woman, go for it. But he's such a weird guy. I don't know. Do I think he should resign? Maybe.
I mean, I do think he should resign. I don't think I don't know how he got where he got. I mean,
yeah, and look, just the principle of you have people that are bigger liars that have actually lied about real things.
yeah.
He's just lied about where he went to school and college. Like, is that bad? Yeah, it shows a lack of character, but at least he didn't lie about having evidence about Russian collusion. I think that's a bigger thing. I think that's more important. So, yeah, I'm so glad to see Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff and all these people getting kicked off their committees. I love it. I think that's perfect. All right, let's see some more super chats here. King Asphalt says, in lieu of hard time, Joe should appear and speak on a nationalized televised press conference a couple times a year after his conviction for treason, just for the solid gold laughs he gets when he opens his mouth. I actually pointed out, I'm not going to say who, but I pointed out to one of the, I'm friendly with a couple, like one or two of the White House correspondents at in the press room, in the briefing room, and I reached out and I was basically saying, look, Joe Biden last year, he did a press conference marking his first year. So is he going to do another one? Is he going to do a press conference marking his second year because he's been in there 2 years and 2 days now? And one of them was going to ask Karine Jean-Pierre if Biden was going to do like a press conference, which he won't right now because it would all be about the classified documents. So he's not going to do it. But I think it would be funny. Say, hey, is Biden going to do his press conference? Is that going to happen? Like, we know it's not going to happen because he's scared of the press right now. And when he does open his mouth, he just makes it worse. Like yesterday, or I guess Thursday when he was in California, he's like just reading off a card, and he's like, "Oh, so my lawyers told me to say that I have no regrets, and you're not going to find any there." He's kind of toast right now. He has no credibility. I love it. And what's funny is there's so many other things that you could say he has no credibility over. He has no credibility over the economy. He has no credibility over the border or foreign policy. I mean, look how he screwed up Afghanistan. That's one of the biggest foreign policy blunders ever. But now the thing that the press is getting up on him for is him mishandling documents. That's like, that was the thing that pushed the press over the edge. Can you believe that? I mean, it's crazy. So, which is your favorite Joe Biden crisis, would you say?
Joe Biden crisis. uh I mean, it's really hard to pick one. I've been covering so many of these things that I don't know what to pick.
and
But
you forget things too.
yeah, I mean,
Like the other day, somebody said that a 9mm bullet will blow the lung out of the body. I'm like, I forgot he said that. I forgot he said that's a really dumb thing to say, which is it's not real. Or when he says that that an AR can shoot bullets faster than 5 times faster than a regular gun. Like, no, that would be like the magic gun that fires faster than any gun on the planet.
I think one of the things that I like, ironically, I like him, is when he talks about being Italian and he says, "I may be Italian, but I'm not stupid."
Oh no, he says Irish. He's Irish.
Irish.
His wife's
Yeah,
Italian.
I'm sorry, Irish. Yeah,
Oh,
Irish.
like when he says, "I married married Dominic G. Cop's daughter."
Yeah.
No, you married her granddaughter, idiot. Her last name was whatever, Davis or whatever her name is. He's so dumb. But there's so many. When I was making my I was making a top 50 video, and I ended up having to whittle it down because it was too long and I was running out of time. I have like this big spreadsheet of all these stupid things that he said, and it's like hundreds of things. And then you're like, oh wait, oh, he did this thing too. Oh, he said this stupid thing. Oh, he called the video that I made where he says all the names wrong. He pronounced the name of the new British prime minister wrong. So he forgot, he screwed that up. That's like, he's just like one gigantic screw up, this guy.
It's not the first time. Whenever he's meeting international leaders, he's always messing up their names.
Yeah. He messes everybody's name up, or he thinks that they're alive when they're not. Hey, Jackie, where's Jackie? Where's Jackie? I know you died in a car accident, but where are you? Where are you, honey? Come on, man.
I know why I got confused about the Italian thing. It's because in that same segment where he says that he may be Irish, but he's not stupid. He also said he married Dominic Jacopo's daughter.
Yeah.
And then he says, I have a little Italian in me now. And then people started saying that the only way that could happen is if Jill put on an strap-on and take Biden from behind.
Okay, all right.
Now
all right. All right, stop that.
I wasn't going to say anything else. Don't worry.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, no, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not how it works, Joe. There's other things I could talk about too. I want to share some of this money with you. By the way,
no, don't worry about it. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I
sometimes forget that YouTube is demonetizing everyone right now for anything.
Yeah, I am going to give a very, very small percentage of what I make today to Memeology. So just so you guys know. I really appreciate you coming on, by the way. It's always nice to it's always harder to do these things by yourself, I think. And I invited other people to come on, but like Sargon, by the way, Sargon Avocado, who I love, Carl Benjamin, he I asked him last minute and he said he already had a live stream going on later. So, but he said he would have, and just a shout out to Carl, who's been one of my bigger supporters in YouTube land. So shout out to him. And let's see. All right, let's do a couple more super chats and then we'll end this, because this has been fun. I don't want to like overstay my welcome. Somebody pointed out apparently Ron Klain is resigning. So Biden's chief of staff is resigning. But But here's the thing: chief of staffs come and go. Sometimes they last like an entirety of 4 years. Sometimes they only last a year. It happens. So the fact that he's been there 2 years, you know, you got to give it to him. That's fine. I don't think that I think the timing is weird because of the whole, oh, they found more classified documents. So the timing obviously is kind of pops out at you, but I don't know if it was anything. I don't know if it's about any particular thing because guess what? With all of the things going on now, I don't think that it was the documents thing that made him quit, because Ron Klain has screwed up so much, because Ron Klain's essentially the president. Biden's not running the country. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's Ron Klain. And they're probably going to replace. I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to. This is my prediction. I think Ron Klain is going to be replaced with Susan Rice, and it'll be like, oh, the you know, I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Susan Rice. That is my expert, because I am the top senior political analyst on YouTube. Let's face it.
I mean, they're going to give themselves credit and pat themselves in the back for putting a woman on that position. You know they're going to do that, right?
Yeah, I don't think that there's been a female chief of staff ever. So yeah, so of course they're going to pat. You're right. They're going to pat themselves in the back. This is historic.
I'm going to clip this right now so I can use it.
Do it. Yeah, we're doing it. You're right. And every time they go, oh, it's a Pete Buttigieg. It's historic that we picked. He doesn't know anything about transportation, but guess what? It's historic. It's very important, guys, to have Mayor Pete Secretary on as running all of our transportation.
And to fix the racist highways and shit.
That's one of my favorite videos that I've actually made of the quote unquote racist roads. And Shoe on Head, who lives in Long Island, she's like, oh yeah, I know they're, because I live there. It's like, it's a parkway. It's a parkway for cars. It's not a parkway for trucks or buses. That's the whole point. So you didn't need to make them high. And if you made them higher, it would be a cost issue. So, you know, you don't want like tractor trailer trucks on a parkway. It's stupid. So, but you know, of course, everything's as Gamergate girl would say, you know, everything's racist, everything's sexist, and we have to point it all out, you know. So I'm going to read a couple more of these. Let's see here. What's Gamergate's woman's name?
Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, there you go. I kept thinking Anna Kasparian, and I'm like, that's not the right name. Anita, yeah. Oh, Anita, she's awful. I'm glad that her career died, but I'm sure a lot of people would say the same thing about me. I'm glad to see that Andrew Don't Walk Run guy. I'm glad his channel died, jerk. Kara says, Karrus says, federal contractor. Wait. Oh, is he doing it again? I guess he put the same thing. Federal contractor with former secret clearance here. Any number of classified documents discovered to be compromised equals 10 years prison. No ifs, ands, or buts. This applies to Biden, Trump, and Clinton. So, but here, I don't think that we're ever going to find out whether any of these documents were actually that other people saw them. I think that they're going to get him on mishandling, which I don't think is. I don't think that Biden's going to jail over this.
Yeah,
it's not going to get impeached. It's going to be a slap on the wrist, and the thing is, they're not going to be able to convict Trump over it. So Biden basically sunk all of that. I think so. Congratulations, Joe Biden. You're running against Trump. You don't have a choice. Incures says, I know it is not USA related. What are your thoughts, if any, on the New Zealand PM's resignations? I enjoy learning of U.S. politics from your videos. I don't know a lot about what is her name, Jacinda.
Yeah, Jacinda Ardern.
I don't.
I don't know how to pronounce that, but
yeah. To be honest, I don't really cover a lot of foreign policy stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it when say like other news agencies or like Al Jazeera or whatever like comes in and like criticizes the United States, even though they have their kind of problems.
Yeah.
So I don't I don't want to be a hypocrite. But I mean, from what I know about her, she's an awful person, and I've seen that she's aged horribly.
Yeah.
That's stress will do that to you. But I would love to know how you feel about it, how you guys feel about her leaving. I'm sure it's a good thing.
First of all, she proudly said that during the pandemic that she was segregating New Zealanders into segments, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. She said that. Well, it's on video. She said that. She was proud about it. And the problem is that she's gone now, but the new one is worse.
Oh, great.
The new one actually said on video that he was planning on having the government seek out, going into people's homes and seek out those people that have not received the shot and give the shot to them, even if they like it or not. So
yeah,
that's where we are. Yeah.
Rip New Zealand. Well, I'm sorry, New Zealand. I'm sorry to be it's awful. Just move. Just move to America. It's even better here. Matt33 says, do you think that these classified documents being found is a Democrat hit job since they don't want him to run in 2024? I don't think so, but I do love the fact that this is definitely going to keep him from announcing a run for president. I don't think that he can announce running while this is all going on, because it's kind of like the specter of him mishandling these documents. So yeah, I don't think it's a hit job, but it's a hit job of his own making, I would say.
Look, I know you don't like conspiracies, but I really want this to be all Kamala's doing, because if she becomes president, she will be becoming president by putting a house of cards. No one voting for her. She's simply becoming the president, by default. And I want her to become the president for the sheer content alone. The memes, the quotes, the chaos. I don't want Americans to suffer. I don't want that.
You're giving her way too much credit. She is not that smart.
I know that.
To plan this coup. I don't think that she has the brains. Yeah, look, I do agree that for content, it would be amazing. But it would also be terrible for America. So
yeah, I know that. That's the only reason that I'm wondering.
I know there's a balance. I get it. But she would destroy the country. But yeah, content wise, it'd be amazing. So who knows? Benjamin Jin says, love your content, Andrew. Keep exposing the clown world. Thank you very much. 510 Live says, love from the Bay Area. Thanks for entertaining me. Well, 510 Live, if you have any inside scoop about the Nancy Pelosi exorcism that did you hear about that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. If it's true, but I heard about that.
You know what? I say it's true. She wants to perform an exorcism on the house to get rid of all the evil from the the attack that happened a couple months ago. That's my feeling about it. But I would, I'm sure somebody's going to cover it. I bet I guarantee that Liberal Hive Mind mentions it in one of his videos about this exorcism.
If that was true, she wouldn't be able to enter her home. You want to talk about demons?
You're right. It would be like it would be self-inflicted. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Hold on. Somebody did a $49.99 sticker of somebody riding a rocket. So that's T3. Thank you, T3. That's very, very kind of you. Super sticker. I wanted to acknowledge that. So otherwise, yeah, that's so funny. But I don't believe and that's another thing. I think that it wasn't planned, but it was definitely ill-timed, the attack, because then they went on this and they made it all about Trump. They made it all about mega self, like semi-fascists, even though it's clearly a disturbed individual that attacked Paul Pelosi. And I don't think it's funny, but and I don't think that the discrepancies in the story and the police report, I don't find that helpful at all. I hate
they fired the reporter that was talking about that police report.
Yeah. So it was
Honduran. He's actually from my country.
Was it I think it was an NBC reporter.
Yeah.
And
he's actually from here.
And I actually taped it. I actually made a copy of it. I know you did too. But he basically reported on these discrepancies, and then they scrubbed the report, and then they put him on leave. Because God forbid you report the news. That would be terrible. Don't report the news if it's going to hurt Democrats. God. I mean, that when somebody finally does good journalism, and anyway, some Phoenix Kiner says, did you really donate to the Chris Chan documentary? Yes. I've been following Chris Chan for a very, very, very long time. Before it was cool. And Geno Samuel, he also does music too, but Geno Samuel has done like this 80 billion part series on Chris Chan, and I donate to his Patreon to help support that effort, because it does take a long time to make those things. So I love like Chris Chan's an awful person, obviously, but it's just a fascinating. One of my favorite Chris Chan things, by the way, is the call with Casey's father. Like, I don't know how deep you are in Memeology into all of the Chris Chan lore. Like, how do you follow it at all?
A little bit. I am really surface level on Chris Chan. The pictures, the Sonishu stuff, his mom stuff. That's it.
So there was basically this girl in real life set up a date to go meet Chris Chan in real life, because Chris Chan keeps meeting all these internet girls and going, "Oh, you're my girlfriend, I love you," even though they're not real, like they're trolls. So this one girl went to a mall to meet Chris for a date. He brought his dad along to the date, and so then suddenly, like, she was like, okay, I'm gonna get on the phone with Chris Chan, and I'm gonna like have her talk to my my father, which was actually like another troll. And he's like, hey, Chris, this is Casey's father, and it's like an hour and a half phone call where the father is just completely, like just saying like just making Chris look like it. He's like, so if you have a job, son? He's like, yeah, well, I'm unemployed right now, but I want to work at a Wendy's or I want to work at Target. He's like, wait, but you want to work a minimum wage job? That's not gonna support my Casey. It's like an hour and a half of this. I have to send it to you. It's a brilliant phone call.
I haven't listened to that, but it sounds good.
So funny. Like I'm not even describing it right. Somebody said Andrew is a Christorian. No, I'm not a Christorian, but I love the lore, and I love that Gina Samuel is doing God's work. So football, somebody's putting football scores. I don't care about football. And that was the last one. That was the last super chat. Did you really donate to Christian? Yes, I did. And I will do it for as well. He also, Gino Samuel makes some really good music too. So it's all part of that support. So other than that, I guess that's it. Let's why don't we end this, Memeology? Why don't you say your Twitter and stuff like that and get people to follow you?
I mean, I have every social media on my channel, so you can head to Memeology 101 on YouTube and go from there.
Got it.
Plug everything here. I don't like that. I don't like to plug my stuff on other people's channels. Mostly when I believe those people's channels are better than mine. That's one of the things.
Well, look, everybody go. If you're not subscribed, go to Memeology 101. It's great content. If you even hit the bell, it's not going to be like a big hassle. Like every video is worth watching. He's a legitimate news source. So everybody do that, and also subscribe to me. You can just type "Don't Walk Run" after YouTube.com, and you can find all my stuff. And follow me on Twitter at Don't Walk Run, because I get really spicy on YouTube. I curse. I do. I call
on
people
Twitter.
out. I love to argue. James K says, I want to be the last super chat. Big fan. Thank you, James K. And with that, I think that's, wow, we're still monetized. Shocking. With that said, thank you so much for joining, everybody. Thank you for spending some time with me on Sunday. I'm gonna finish recording my new video, which should be out tomorrow. It's not going to be about the it's not going to be about Car-a-Lago or GarageGate or whatever you want to call it. Which is why I wanted to do something now, because I know that everybody's going to be looking for, and I will do something, because I'll tell you what, the next press briefing with Cringe JeanPierre, it's going to be lit.
Yeah.
So trust me when I say that, if I did a video now, it would not be complete. It would be out of date in like a day. So I'm glad I did this. You can rewind and hear us talking about it. Let's see, 3 more super chats real quick. Battling Bacon says, everyone do know, so he can't leave. Oh, everybody giving me super chat, so I can't leave. That guy says, too late, it's me. And Bloody Wolf says, we'll see. And Sakar 187 just did like a super sticker. So all right, fine. I better end this while people are still giving me money. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Memeology, for hanging out with me. This is like our first. I'm glad we did a face reveal. Have you shown your face before on live streams?
Yeah, I have, but
Okay.
really few times. And the other time is that the actual profile picture of the channel. Though a lot of people don't believe that's me.
Because I did one. Yeah, no, I saw one of the I've only seen like one or two of your live streams, and actually I posted in the chat and you said hi. You had no idea who I was at the time, but you weren't showing your face, so I didn't know if you'd ever done this. So it's not as special as I thought it was, but it's still nice that. Well, what kind of headset is that, by the way? Is it a gaming headset?
JBL.
Oh, no, it looks cool.
Thank you.
Guess what? More super chats. Kevin H says, "Let's go, Brandon." I agree. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Bloody Wolf says, "Run." James K says, "You can't fire us. You're not our supervisor." All right. On that note, again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Aaron Ferrier says, "I'll be the last super chat. My entire family watches this channel. We love your data and pleasant spirit." Oh, I'm a pleasant spirit. Did you know that, guys? I'm not a jerk at all. I'm very pleasant. I don't think. Ryan Waddle says, "Unidentified sighting agency says, 'Let's go, Brandon.'" Okay, there you go. Well, again, all right, guys, take care. Thank you again. I love you all, and I'll see you next time, if there is next time.